Fadligady, my name is Mighty Wereball and welcome back to Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. In the previous episode, we climbed out of a giant waste disposal after Laptop-kun saved us. Kirigiri decided to join us and we are now entering the end game. I'm assuming we've now challenged the Mastermind and Monokuma to one more whodunit mystery. We're trying to find out who killed this mysterious body of Mikuro Ikusaba, and yeah, let's go and chat to the people who voted me to die. I'm sure they're looking forward to seeing me. First, let's see if she has anything to say. Anyway, right now we have to go find the others. They're probably in the dorms somewhere. Shall we go? To the dorms then! Do I go to the dining hall? Maybe? You did say the dormitory. It doesn't look like... And suddenly we were greeted with... Yeah, I'm not going to attempt to say that. I don't even know how you could say that. Apart from Krakow. Krakow, motherfucker. You again. Oh, is he having a meltdown? Is he broken? I suppose his emotional instability reached its limit. Yep, Monokuma, you've sounded better, my friend. Jeez, what the heck? I wonder what that was all about. I couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief. Ah! I'm gonna assume that... There we are. Is that Makoto? You guys? It is! And there's no two ways about it. That's Makoto. Huh? You survived? Jeez, you're like a stubborn little cockroach, you know that? I'm just asking to make sure, but you're not a ghost, right? Everyone was there, all my friends who had struggled together and survived and sent me to my death. But I'm going to overlook that because I am the pure MC of an anime. As soon as I saw their faces, I couldn't help myself. I started to tear up. Hey, what's that smell? Yeah, man, that seriously stinks. It's Makoto. He smells like a wet dog. Get away. Shoo. Shoo. And in a flash, my tears dried up. Alright, well, let's talk to you all then. I'm sure you've all got some riveting to say. Ugh, you stink. Are you rotten? Rotten physically, mentally, every way you can be rotten. Sorry, I was rolling around in garbage for a while. Is that flipping her switch by any chance? The smell is so smelly. Super smelly. You smell even worse than me. Way worse than me. I win. She seems happy for some reason. Also, I know in the last episode, a couple of episodes ago, you had to make a choice as to whether or not to believe her lie or let it go. I went off and I checked out what would happen if you'd called it out on it. And literally it goes the same way, except she ends up being the blackened, but she doesn't get saved. She gets killed. And then it flips forward to saying, yeah, nobody else died. And it's a photo of you, Bakula, Hiro, that's terrible. Yeah, Hiro, standing next to Hina, who has 3 kids that all look like these characters, and she's dead. It's not explained why she's dead. But yeah, Bakula's just holding a picture of her smiling, and then it's just like then it cuts back. It's almost like this is Makoto's imagining what would happen kind of deal. I just thought it was quite funny that what he said, that their kids would end up the same woman ends up as being the bad ending. Anyway, enough piss-arting about. Hina, what are you saying? So what have you guys been doing while I was gone? Well, we figured that since the trial was over, we'd have access to new places again. And? No dice. All the rooms that were locked before were still locked. So there weren't any new areas. Then where can we go to find new clues? She has a key to open up every other bloody place in the room in this place. Makoto, what was it like hanging out in the spirit world? I didn't go to the spirit world. Did you get to talk to her? Who? Miss Cleo. No, I didn't talk to her. I mean, I didn't go to the spirit world. I mean, who the heck is Miss Cleo? Cleopatra? I still can't believe you survived. Yeah, me either. Do you realize why it is you escaped execution? It was alter ego. He saved my life. Not too many people can say they've had their lives saved by a computer program. I imagine it was a learning experience for you. Okay, talk to you then. There's no time to indulge in an extended happy reunion. We need to explain to everyone what happened with Monokuma. Explain? Explain what? But is it okay that you're here? What if the mastermind catches you? That's related to what I have to tell you all. I need to tell you all about the last class trial. Last class trial? We're going to redo Makuro's trial. What? Seriously? What's the point of redoing it? Makoto killed her, right? No, I didn't do it, like I keep telling you. Makoto isn't the killer, and of course it's not me, or any of you. Then, who is it? What she's saying is it was all the work of the mastermind. What? You're saying the mastermind killed Makuro? That's right. It was all an elaborate trap contrived by the mastermind. Makoto spotted the trap in time and did what he had to do to stop it. But his decision meant that he would be the one to die. You spotted the trap, did you, Makoto? You made it sound like it was easy. I just, But executing Makoto, who wasn't the Blackened, is a clear violation of the school regulations. The rules state that only the Blackened is to be executed. The mastermind broke their own rules. Which is why I went and negotiated with them to have the trial one more time. And the mastermind agreed? Does that mean they really did break the rule? They had no choice but to agree. You used the TV broadcast to gain the leverage you needed, didn't you? Very observant of you. I recall what you said at the end of the last trial. When you said, now it's the mastermind that's ensnared, that's what you were referring to. Hey, I'm totally in the dark here. For anyone who doesn't understand, you can ask Kyoko to explain it again, later. So, knowing all this, what do we do now? It's about who killed Makuro, right? So our job is to expose the mastermind? But there's more to it than that, correct? Yeah. For us to win this time, we have to solve every last mystery surrounding the school. Every last mystery? But we've been looking around all this time and we still don't know anything, right? You've probably guessed already, but if we lose this time, everyone dies. Everyone? Hey, who said you could agree to those terms without talking to the rest of us? I'm fine with the way things are. I'm fine living here forever with Master. I, meanwhile, want to get out of here as soon as humanly possible. Anyway, at this point, the only way for us to survive is to unravel the truth. In other words, one decisive final battle. A rather interesting development, I'd say. But figuring out who the mastermind is and how they killed Makuro and all the school's mysteries was a pretty tall friggin' order. Maybe, but this time the trial is different. We know who our enemy is now. So if we work together and search as hard as we can, I'm sure we'll solve all those mysteries. I'm not so sure about that. Huh? I can't agree with the idea of working together with everyone. You can't agree? Why not? I mean, working together with everyone seems like the most obvious way to solve all the mysteries. That's what I thought too, at first. Until Monokuma gave us that little hint of his. Hint? It's a very, very polarizing approach, I know. But, okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's the hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. The only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students. Monokuma said that, did he? Then Kyoko's opinion is perfectly reasonable. Huh? But why? If the mastermind really is the one who killed Makuro, as Kyoko says, then the mastermind would have had to set foot in this school, right? Monokuma could probably murder Makuro, but there's no way he could have disguised the scene like that. But according to Monokuma, the only people who have set foot in Hope's Peak are the 16 students who have been taking part in the killing game. Then, the mastermind is... There were 15 of us in the main hall at the very beginning. Out in Mikuro, and you get 16. Wait. The mastermind would have to... So the mastermind would have to be one of them? And if there's 16 people we started out with, the only ones still alive are the people standing right here. Need I continue, or do you get it now? You're saying the mastermind is one of us? You can't be serious. Well, wait. We can't say for sure that's true yet. Monokuma might have just said all that to confuse us. It's certainly a possibility, but only one among many. The mastermind being one of us is also a possibility. And that is one possibility we can't ignore. Yeah, I mean, they're an ultimate, right? The ultimate despair. So they must be a high schooler. You can't say it's not possible. But if one of us was the mastermind, they'd have to be controlling Monokuma somehow, right? But did you ever see anyone acting suspicious anytime Monokuma was active? Maybe they snuck off and controlled him in secret. I don't care how sneaky you are. We would have noticed someone sneaking off that many times. Is it one of the students that died? I'm trying to think of all the students. They wouldn't have been the blackened. Junko. She's the only one that's died from Monokuma. No, but they pretty much said she was dead. I don't know, it's a bit weird. Then maybe Monokuma was on autopilot. Maybe they loaded up all the dialogue and actions beforehand. In that case, there's no way he could have had all those back and forth conversations with us. Well, it wouldn't be entirely impossible if they could directed the flow of the conversation. Well, maybe, but still. More questions are getting raised here. I don't know, maybe... What was it? She did say this wasn't supposed to... When she died... I don't know. I could just be, this is a school announcement. You've all probably figured this out by now, but at this point, the killing game has now entered true ending mode. So in the name of fairness, I will unlock every room in the school. Look wherever you want, solve the mystery in whatever way you see fit. Then we can all meet up at the class trial, okay? How very magnanimous of him to unlock all the rooms. The time for talk is done. Now we need to begin our investigation. But I was planning on working alone from the beginning anyway. At this point I can rely only on myself, on the Togami blood flowing through my veins. I have no time to worry about the rest of you. Each of you must uphold your responsibility. Well then. After making his final statement, Byakuya left the dining hall. Master... He didn't take me with him. Do you blame him? Without Master, the rest of you are like coffee with cream without the cream. Or coffee. In fact, forget the blackjack and hookers. Screw the whole thing. You're totally useless. So, bye. With that, Toko trudged out of the dining hall. And now she's gone. And you're gonna go off by yourself, right? You're gonna go off by yourself, right, Kyoko? That's right. Which just leaves Makoto, Hina, and me. In that case, I'm gonna go by myself too. Wait, how come? Just wait and see. I'm gonna use my totally awesome spirit power to figure out the mastermind's identity. Ha 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 ha! Laughing loudly, Hiro left the dining hall. Everyone's really gonna go off by themselves? What about you, Hina? I guess I'll do the same thing. I mean, it's not that I don't trust everyone, you know? But, up till now, I haven't really been all that useful. I just depended on Sakura and everyone else. You're not useless. If you hadn't been here, I would have died. Makoto? That's really nice of you to say. But still, I know I've mostly been totally useless. So I figure, at least here at the end, maybe I can find something that'll help us all get out of here. so I'm going to go off and do it all on my own. Okay, see you later. Hina was in surprisingly high spirits as she dashed out of the dining hall, and once again, it's just us two. Indeed. So, you're going to go off on your own too, right, Kyoko? Well, don't misunderstand. Just because we're going to do our searches separately doesn't mean we can't still work together. That goes for all of us. I think I see what you mean. Doing our own investigation doesn't mean we can't work together in the end. I should just see it as us splitting up to cover more ground. Scooby-Doo style. And then we can get back together and share what we found. Yeah, that's right. Well, I better get going. Wrong voice. Well, I better get going. I have an endless list of things I need to check. Monokuma said all the doors in the school had been unlocked, right? So we should be able to investigate every nook and cranny in the school. We can visit all the places we couldn't go before. Oh, that, again, wrong voice. We can visit all the places in the school we couldn't before. Makoto, no matter what it takes, we have to uncover the truth, by any means necessary. With that, Kyoko was gone, leaving only me. I don't have time to waste either. I have to begin my search. I still can't believe the mastermind might be one of us. So that's what I have to prove. I'll prove that the mastermind isn't one of us. I'll expose the mastermind's true identity and solve the mystery of this school. And then we can all escape together. Okay, I guess I'll start by taking another look at Makuro's Monokuma file. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. They had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered in other wounds, but these were at least several days old. Once we find out who killed Makuro Ikusaba, then we'll know who the true mastermind is. So where should I start my investigation to figure out who killed her? I guess I should start with the rooms that were locked up until now. The headmaster's room, the biolab, the door in the data center with Monokuma's face on it. Oh, and the second floor of the dorms where the gate was down before. That should be open now, right? After that, I'll have to double check the areas that are connected to the murder, which means the garden and the dojo. Okay, time to get started. Places to check have been added to the Truth Bullets section of your handbook. Okay, let's go. And the first place I'm going to is the biolab, because I want to know what's in here. Zombies. Wait, are those body chillers? Well, here I am in the biolab. It's so cold. It's like abnormally cold. I feel like I'm in a giant refrigerator. Seriously, why is it so cold? These look like body chillers to me. There's some kind of weird machine or something built into the wall. And on the left side there's a bunch of glowing blue lights. But on the other side... Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. These are body chillers. These are where the bodies are. But so one is mine, Hina, Hiro, Bakula, Toko. So obviously, is that Makuro? Makuro's body's gone. Where is it gone? Or is somebody not dead? I don't know. It just, the more I think about it, the more I realise that it seems a bit odd that Junko is the only one that's died because of Monokuma. If she was the mastermind, surely she could do it in a way where it looks like she's dead, but she's not. Could be talking crap though. Ugh, why is it so cold? That's the first thing I need to figure out. Well, I'd say it's because of the fucking body chiller. There's a stack of tarps here. I've been seeing a lot of these things lately. Is there something over here I missed? No, there is. Oh, the ones that are empty. There's some kind of weird machine or something built into the wall. I've seen something like this before. Ah, that's it. I've seen this kind of thing in horror movies and stuff. It's a fridge for storing dead bodies. Does this mean that this biolab is actually a morgue? I should probably take a closer look around. I could have a look in here. There's some kind of weird machine something in the wall. Left side is a bunch of glowing lights. One's to the left, right hand lights are off. Yeah, I know. that it? You're not going to look any further into that? The open one. Oh, wait, oops. It looks like an instruction manual. We offer an eco-friendly alternative to standard dry ice for all your cadaver needs. In addition to the germicidal lamps, we also provide an ozone generator for the removal of ethylene gas. Simply insert the cadaver, and the blue light will let you know the automated system has activated. Temperature and humidity levels will be adjusted automatically for optimum settings. With our system, anyone can keep a body fresh as a daisy for as long as you need. In the unlikely event of a problem, the red light will activate and an alarm will sound immediately. The exterior is a stainless steel, and we do offer an optional leather upholstery upgrade package. This is the instruction manual for the fridge? Well, looking around, I think I get it. It seems clear to me now. It's some kind of makeshift morgue. And about those lights by each slot. It looks like it's set up so that when a slot is occupied, the blue light comes on, which would mean inside each slot lit up in blue, another one of the victims is just bullets. I can't let my emotions take control right now. There's only one thing I can do for everyone who's died, and that's defeat the mastermind. And to do that, I have to continue my investigation. I don't have any other option. You gonna check on them? There's some kind of weird machine or something built in with some kind of lights are on, ones are left. You're not gonna look in them. You're investigating shit. Look at it. You idiot! Why aren't you looking at it? I oughta. And there, no, it's exactly the same. You're really not going to check these fridges? He's not going to check them. I despair sometimes. Right, next room. I don't know, I would be looking in there for any kind of clue or hint to see if all the bodies are still there. Maybe that's just me, but if you're investigating with your life on the line, you're going to want to check every nook and fucking cranny. Hello, darling, how are you? Oh, Tokos, this is where you were. What do you want? Am I so disgusting you want me out of your sight? No, that's not it at all. Haven't we had this conversation once before? I just thought maybe you'd find a clue. Well, I haven't. I didn't find anything. Not one single clue. I figured since this place was related to the case, it would have to have something, right? But there wasn't anything out of the ordinary here. Give it back. Give me back my precious time. Calm down, Toko. Don't tell me to calm down. Do you have any idea what I'm going through right now? When everyone finds out, they're gonna call me useless. Good for nothing. Nobody's gonna say that. They're gonna think it, but Master will. I'm not so sure I can disagree with that. I don't want that. I'm sick of always being looked down on. Why won't anyone accept me? Well, I don't think there are any clues here, so maybe I'm gonna get going. Yeah, I'm gonna leave. What were the other rooms? The garden. May as well check, see if the body's still there. If the body's still there. Huh? It's gone. Makuro's body. It's not here? Someone isn't dead. I believe Makuro is. I'm sorry, but I'm still gonna go back to Junko. Maybe the body's inside the tool shed. I better check just to be sure. I didn't find anything even close to a dead body, but if it's not in here either, then it must be... Could it be in the biolab? But corpses aren't the only thing I need to check in here. There's one other thing. The tarp. A tarp played a key role in another case, so I better look into it. I'm just trying to think of anyway, the killer used the tarp to keep the sprinklers from getting the body wet, which means the killer might have left some clue behind here. Huh? I didn't notice this before, but there's a small stamp on one corner of the tarp. It says, Biolab? Then, this originally came from the Biolab? Tarp's been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook. Does it mean we have to go back to the Biolab? Are you going to nut up and have a look inside the fridges? That's all I really needed to check here. Okay, back to the biolab then. Walk in here and it's just zombies shuffling about. Are you gonna... There's some kind of... Oh, really? You're not... The right hand window... You're not even... It's almost like this guy wants to die. He doesn't want to properly investigate shit. He just expects Kyoko to do everything for him, and then he can just, you know, point out the fucking obvious and repeat himself 400 times a bloody trial. Right, okay, so where else did I need to go to? To the data center. Let's see what's behind this weird Monokuma door. Oh. Ha, Makoto! Are you here to look around too? Is that what you're doing here? No, she's here to fucking watch TV, you utter plum. Yeah, I can't help but wonder about that Monokuma door. So I figured, if all the doors in the school have been unlocked, that one should be open too, right? Although, I couldn't bring myself to open it. Because it might explode, right? And that'd really suck, so you open it. I'm sure she didn't mean it, but she made it sound like she was okay with me getting blown up. I'm sure she's completely fine with you getting blown up. Okay, so I guess I'll open it. Ah, wait, let me take cover first. I don't want to get exploded. Hina raced over to a nearby desk and hid underneath it. Okay, go ahead. Everything will be okay, right? Alright, here goes nothing. I threw all my weight into it, but the door opened much easier than I expected. Oh, this is a Monokuma control panel. There was no explosion, thankfully. My first impression was, whoa, this place is totally sci-fi. Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing. Yeah, this is definitely the Monokuma hive mind headquarters. There's an escape hatch. There's some kind of hatch on the floor, but right now I'm more concerned about that weird device. Not a very nice thing to say about Hina. What is this device? It looks like some kind of control panel. It's really over the top though, like some kind of military installation or something. Yeah, it kind of looks like a mech cockpit, right? Hifumi would probably freak out if he saw it. Cockpit? So the Monokuma room has a control panel that looks like some kind of cockpit. Then could that mean... Alright, let's start poking at her or whatever. I'm gonna start pushing buttons. Oh, hold on, you can't just or whatever something like this. But it was too late. Hina was already jabbing away at the control panel. Huh? Did you hear that? Yeah, I think it came from the other room. Hina, what did you push? I'm not totally sure, but I think it was that one. The button that says data center. Data center? I took a good look at the control panel, and I saw a bunch of buttons, each with the name of a room next to it. And just like Hina said, there was one labelled data center. Oh, is this to make Monokuma pop out of the ground? And that must be the one she pushed. But the data center, that's right next door. The room we were just in. That's where the strange noise came from. That's what it was. The room next door. The data room. That room we were just in. Get to the point, dude. I'd better go and check it out. What, the room next door? The data room? The room we were just in? Yes, please. I'm kind of scared out of my mind right now, so I'll just cheer you on from over here. You're so reliable, Hina. Return to the data center. Yes, Monokuma will be waiting for me, won't he? Did I just hear what I think I heard? Is that Monokuma? Hey! Oh, I wonder who could be controlling this. Give me all your donuts! Is that you, Hina? What? Oh man, busted. How did you know? Anyway, what is this? Some kind of remote controlled camera kind of setup? You don't even know what you're controlling? Well, I mean, I can't really see anything from in here. Ha! Guess what I found? A self-destruct button. Whatever you do, don't push it. Oh man! Were you seriously gonna push it? Anyway, I guess that settles it. The room with the Monokuma drawing on it and the control panel inside. Do I speak to him again? Anyway, I guess that settles it. Room with the Monokuma, so I just go back inside and speak to Hina. So who knew it? The room with the giant Monokuma picture on it is the room that controls Monokuma. Whoa! Hey Makoto, what the heck was that just now? Monokuma. Huh? What do you mean? What you were controlling just now. It was Monokuma. Monokuma? What? For real? Yep. It looks like that panel definitely controls Monokuma, which means the mastermind has been controlling Monokuma from this room. Yeah, they were definitely in here. The mastermind has been controlling Monokuma from this room. This room that we're in. The room that has Monokuma in it. I'm going to stop doing that now. And this control room is totally separate from the data center area with all the monitors. In other words, maybe the mastermind can't control us and can't monitor us and control Monokuma at the same time. Kyoko's theory was right. But if the mastermind's been controlling Monokuma from here, that means they've been inside the school this whole time, right? I guess that would have to be true. But if that is true... It's a very polarizing approach, I know. But, okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. The only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students. Then the mastermind, Monokuma's puppeteer, really is the 16th student? No, it can't be. There's no way. Right? What's wrong, Makoto? I don't like that face you're making. Oh no, it's nothing. Oh, okay. What about you? Is everything okay? Oh, well, it's just... This is where the mastermind's been hiding, right? Who knows if they set up traps or something? I can't say it isn't possible, but I really hope it's not true. So, like, you want to leave soon? There's still lots of other places to check out. Yeah, good point. We can't waste all our time standing around in here. Okay, you want to get going? Yeah. Why are we not paying attention to this escape hatch down here? What's wrong, Makoto? Let's hurry up and get out of here. Alright, we're just going to ignore the hatch in the floor. Some in-depth click. As soon as the door to the data center was closed, I heard a strange sound. What was that? Ah, the door! It just locked on its own. What? My hand shot out to grab the doorknob. Rattle, you're right, it's locked. But why? Of course it's locked, because the data center is now restricted. Monokuma? Hey, no fair. You can't go around restricting whatever you feel like. It's for your benefit. Because if that room stays open, I won't be able to move around. Imagine how depressed everyone would get if the school mascot just upped and stopped moving. Then, that room. As you may have guessed, that's where my controls are. So, right now you're being operated by someone in that room? Correctamundo. That doesn't make any sense. We were just in there and we didn't see anyone. Except for the obvious fucking hatch in the floor that you didn't check because you're stupid. Oh, you didn't, did you? Are you sure you were as thorough as you could have been? Did you happen to check a certain suspicious hatch? Yes, and my guy completely fucking ignored it. No way. The hatch on the floor? Too bad. That was your one big chance, and you blew it. Of course that hatch can't be opened from the outside anyway, so whatever. Now then, this room is officially restricted, so no more investigating. I'll be relying on you guys to tell the others. Peace. He's gone, but was he telling the truth? The mastermind was hiding in there? In fact, if you think back to when we got locked out of the control room, that proves it for sure. Then, when I said we should leave... Well, the hatch could be opened from the outside anyway, right? So it's not your fault. Okay. Anyway, we don't have to let it get to us. We have to stay positive and think the most of the time we have left. You're right. If there's one thing I'm good at, it's keeping my body moving. Okay, I'm gonna run around and tell everyone what we found here. Nice, you've got me all motivated again. Okay, I'm out. See you later. Hina took off at a full sprint, and I have to do what I can too. That's the only way forward. Technically, it's your fault, mate, because I clicked on the hatch and you were like, no, I want to look at the TV screen in front of me. Let's check the headmaster's office. Which is this way, right? Yes, let's have a nosy. It's been ransacked, though I'm not expecting to find much. Oh, Bacula's here. This is the headmaster's room. I've heard an awful lot about it, but this will be my first time seeing it for myself. Ha, Makoto, it's you. Oh, Bacula. Yeah, I'm just going to ignore you and look at this. There are documents scattered all over the floor. Somehow it makes me feel anxious. Okay, it's another sword. There are trophies and even a shield in the display case. Cool. What's this big blue folder? Hey, Makoto. Are you ignoring me? If you think I'll forgive that just because you're you? When we get out of here, remember this moment. Yes, I am ignoring you. Hey, Makoto. Are you... Okay, well, I didn't mean to do that, but fine, I'll speak to you then. Well, you came to the right place this time. Would you like to see something interesting? If it's your dick, then absolutely not. What do you mean, something interesting? Take a look at this. It was the top of that pathetically ostentatious desk. Class 78, student registry. It contains profiles for us all. For all of us, and Makuro. Apparently, Class 78 refers to us. Wait, when we found Makuro's profile in Kyoko's room... That's right, it also mentioned the Class 78. This must be where Kyoko got that page. And since the rest of our profiles are listed in there along with hers, there can be no doubt Makuro was a student here at Hope's Peak Academy, just like the rest of us. Makuro Ikusawa, the 16th student. That must be how Kyoko learned about it. But it seems that Kyoko was in a hurry. Huh? What do you mean? I'm talking about when she stole it. The uneven tearing, the way the paper had been crumpled, she must have been in a hurry. Well, since she snuck in to get in, I'm sure she wanted to get out as fast as possible. What's your point? She was in so much of a hurry that she only got the first page. The first page? Correct. Makuro's profile actually contains 2 pages. What? In other words, when it comes to this profile, there was more information about Makuro that we still didn't have. What kind of information is it? Why do you ask me to explain every little thing? You can read, can't you? It seems to be some sort of detailed report put together by the headmaster himself. I don't know what kind of man he was, but I'm glad he left us such an interesting clue. I was half listening to Byakuya as I skimmed through the report. Makuro reappears suddenly, and in the background an entity floats, close but just out of reach. The entity known as the Ultimate Despair. Right now, I can't be sure if this is a single person or some kind of group. Whatever it is, Makuro definitely has some sort of connection to it. I have a bad feeling about this. I need to push forward with my research into the Ultimate Despair, and I need to pay attention to Makuro's behaviour too. This is just my gut feeling, but I think she's dangerous. Despite the countless battles she must have gone through as a member of Fenrir, when she entered Hope's Peak, she didn't display any signs of battle wounds or scars. That fact alone proves her tremendous skill in battle. Naturally, I want to believe in her. She's one of my students after all. But if I decide she's a danger to the other students, I will be forced to take all reasonable measures. Makuro was a part of the Ultimate Despair. I don't think there can be any doubt about it now. But wouldn't that mean Makuro and the Mastermind were allies? So why? Why would they kill Makuro? Plus, even the headmaster seemed to be afraid of what Makuro was capable of. They would have had to take her completely by surprise to kill her like that. Or maybe it means the Mastermind is even stronger than Makuro was. I've just had a... Makuro's body had loads of scars or wounds that were a couple of days old. She would have had to have been taken by surprise to be killed, and she was already dead when we found her. Is Makuro Junko? Or... I don't know how that would work. What's wrong, Makoto? Huh? You seem to be lost in thought, but I should probably point out one other thing. There's another important bit of information within the file that you should note. What is it? Did you notice the picture in there? A picture of a girl perhaps you've never seen before. A girl who seems to be included as part of our Class 78. That should be enough for you to figure out who the girl is. And further information about that girl is included in the file. 5 foot 7 inches, 97 pounds, and it even lists her vitals, 31, 22, 32. Well, what do you think? What do I think? What, are you asking me, like, if she has a nice body? You hopeless idiot. What I'm trying to tell you is maybe you'll want to keep that in mind for later. Maybe you'll make your way back to the corpse and maybe you'll think, oh, could that mean... Wait, is he trying to say... There's a chance the body isn't actually Makuro? Is that what he's saying? Personally, what I'm thinking seems to all but impossible, but it wouldn't hurt to confirm, right? That's all I was trying to say. What you do with that information is your business. So I'm back to being Byakuya's errand boy. I'm right, am I right? That's Junko. Or the body used is Junko's. I'm fairly certain Junko's involved in this somehow, because she's the only one that sticks out like a sore thumb when it comes to the deaths that have happened so far. Oh, and one last thing. It's a bit of advice for me to you, so I suggest you pay attention. Advice for me? You seem to be getting along with Kyoko quite well. It's not that we're getting along, she's just done a lot to help me. Well, don't put too much faith in her. Huh? The cost of that faith might be more than you can afford. What are you saying? Just what I think. Call it a hunch. A hunch. But my hunches tend to be proven right. The advice is free this time. Take it or don't, as you will. I'll keep it in mind, thanks. Okay, well, after that, and after some thoughts and what have you, I'm going to leave this episode here. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, always keep it loud, keep it heavy. I'll see you in the next episode.